We're hitting the road today. Don't go away. Hello, friends, and welcome to Fat Guy Productions. I am Paul, coming to you, as always, from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. It's been a very long time since I talked about music and listening to your tunes on vinyl LPs. But today, we're going to fix that. I'll be heading to my favorite record shop here in Las Vegas, Zia Records, and there I'll show you what a cool store Zia is, and most importantly, I'm going to show you how I shop for used vinyl records. So, let's take a road trip and visit Zia Records. Zia has two locations here in Vegas. This store is on Rainbow on the west side of the valley. Zia can also be found in Phoenix and Tucson. I shop at Zia for several reasons. First, Zia has a nice selection of used vinyl, and their prices are very reasonable. Zia also sells new pressings on vinyl, has CDs, cassette tapes, and so much more. Zia has games, audio equipment, products for your albums, and vinyl galore. But I'm not here for any of this cool stuff. I'm here today to show you how I shop for used vinyl. So, let's shop. Okay, so here I am over at a stack of records, and we're going to take a look and see what's in here for me to find. Okay, first of all, right here, this is a fabulous section for me, because you know Queen is my #1 favorite band, and look at all these great repressings of Queen albums. Beautiful, beautiful, love this. I haven't even seen a new version of a Jazz. This is fantastic. So, they have all of this, but what I really wanted to show you today is this section. This is where all the used stuff is at. So we're going to go through here and see if I can find anything here that I like. Right off the bat, I spot this great Quarter Flash album. This album came out in 1981 and featured the hit Harden My Heart, and I totally need this in my life. Better still, Zia has several copies of the album, so that increases my odds of finding a good copy. What I'll do here is I'll pull every copy of this album out, and I will look at every single album. The first thing I look at is the price and the cover. While a less than perfect cover isn't a deal breaker, when there's more than one album, it could be a tiebreaker. I'll look at the front and back cover art. I'll make sure the glued flaps are solid, and I'll check all the edges. This album has a bit of damage from someone dropping the album into the cover too hard. Now I'll check out the sleeve, and in this case, it's a boring sleeve and has no real value in terms of picking an album. If it was art-filled, I would examine it the same as the cover. I would also want to know if extras that came with the original album are included. In the album Jazz that I mentioned earlier, it came with a poster of the Naked Bicycle race. So if I was buying a used version, I'd want to know if that was included. Now I'll look at the vinyl itself. First and foremost, is the disc warped? This one is nice and flat, but a warped disc is an automatic no. I look at the labels on both sides and I make sure they are solid and in good shape. And then I will look at the surface of the vinyl itself. I'm looking for smudges, scuffs, or scratches. A smudge is like a fingerprint smear that will easily clean right off. A scratch is actual damage to the grooves and is an automatic no-go for me. Scuffs are where the tough decisions are made. A scuff is in fact a physical abrasion of the album's surface. They can actually appear to damage the grooves, and that is a hard pass. I will only accept a scuff if it appears there is no real damage to the playing grooves. To really get a good look, you need to angle the album into the light so you can get a good read on it. Move it around. An edge-on look is often your best bet. This album is super clean on both sides, so I'll keep it out and I'll look at the next candidate. I will repeat my process with every album, putting rejects back in the bin and keeping potentials off to the side in a pile. Once I've filtered through all the albums, I'll take a final look at the keepers and then I'll make a choice. This is a prime example of why I just don't go for the first thing I find. Okay, there were several options for me to choose from here, and this was the first one I liked, and it was $4.99. It's a perfectly fine album, and I would buy this one in a second. But this one is $2.99. The vinyl was really clean, and the covers are commensurate, so why not save a couple of bucks here? It might mean another album going home with me, so I'm going to pick this one up today. One last thing I want to talk about is when you're buying vinyl and you're shopping at these stores, don't be that guy, okay? When you have a selection and you're not sure and you decide you're going to put something back, put it back in the right place, okay? Do these folks a favor and do other shoppers a favor and make sure you put your albums back that you're not going to get into the right place. With Zia in limited locations, you'll probably need to seek out your own favorite place, and odds are you have several used record shops near you. Check them out and patronize your favorite store. But you also have another option. Buy your vinyl in the wild. Garage sales, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, they can all be great places to find albums and even entire collections at great prices. Just remember, it doesn't matter if you're buying in a commercial setting or in the wild. Be diligent before parting with your hard-earned cash and follow a system to determine if the records are worth buying. This is super important in the wild because retail places evaluate albums they buy before reselling them. In the wild, you're the only one standing between a great find and a pile of junk. I'll be doing other videos on vinyl, like what to do with your albums when you get home and buying new vinyl. But Zia has a great selection of new stuff, and I would be remiss if I didn't at least show it to you. I personally am a fan of new vinyl. I love old vinyl, but I also enjoy the new stuff. And look at this. This is a beautiful copy of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It's the anniversary edition. It's been a new stereo mix by Giles Martin. It's got all the classics. Beautiful. $25. You can't beat it. Okay, it's that easy to come down to Zia Records and buy some fantastic used vinyl and even a new album like I'm going to do today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a giant thumbs up, click subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss one of my hobby videos. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. As always, I love to hear from you guys. Okay, I'm going to pay and get out of here. I'd like to give special thanks to Zia Records and Lisette for letting me come into the store ahead of opening hours to do this video for you guys. Until next time, this is Paul from Fat Guy Productions saying be good.